Good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Hey guys, it's Steak Sauce from the Off the Grill podcast. Come on in. We're talking horror. And obviously this would be the part of the show if I had any editing skills or gumption where there'd be a whole intro or a whole... Perhaps another time. But for now, you're stuck with this, a nice cold open. Today we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite movies. I know I said that last week, and the week before, really, but it still remains the same. But that movie is Night of the Creeps. Night of the Creeps opened in theaters on August 22nd, 1986. Unfortunately, didn't do too great at the box office. I think it made about 10% of its budget back. $500,000, I believe. Could be wrong. I don't think I am. Let's move past it. But this has always been one of my favorite movies. As long as I can remember, this was in heavy rotation with all the other 80s, horror franchises, the Nightmares and Fridays of the world. But I always loved this one. It was kind of funny, but still scary. And I mean, as clearly as an adult, I could see it was a love letter to the genre. Fred Decker, who also wrote and directed Monster Squad, I believe the year after. His arm thing, it's all backwards. Oh, the world's backwards. I've always loved the humor in this movie. I mean, I love all the kind of homages to some of the great horror directors of the world. We kind of run through the movie with these two bozos, Chris Romero and James Carpenter Hooper, along with Detective Ray Cameron, Cynthia Cronenberg, and of course the big college in this whatever town they happen to be in, Corman University, as well as the Detective Landis or Sergeant Raimi. It's all over. It's all over the place. Mr. Minor, the janitor, who is one of my favorite lines of the movie. After these cats open up the cryo chamber, they go running out 40 miles an hour. And what are they doing, Mr. Minor? That's right. That's a great line, isn't it? Fantastic. Gotta love it. But I've always, like I said, the humor in this movie, I think, really did shape kind of my sense of humor, at least early on, or especially early on, I guess I should say. Particularly Mr. JC here. Sharp as a whip, always got a line. He's fantastic. I think one of the funniest ones, just kind of a real quick one, when Chris gets upset that Cynthia's going into the beta house, JC hits him as soon as he gets house out of his dumb mouth. He goes,
"Screaming like banshees."
Oh, that bitch!
Every time I watch it, I crack up. I love that part. But what's interesting about this movie is that it's kind of along the lines of another, kind of 80s, 86, another 86 movie, in fact. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, it's kind of, developed a cult following in the gay community just because of the kind of friendship between these two, which I didn't know until I actually listened to the Scream Factory feature commentary with Fred Decker. He kind of brought that up, and I kind of looked into it afterwards, and apparently, Decker definitely didn't write it that way, but he thinks it's kind of cool that people, have been able to gravitate to that, and I guess use that maybe to help them come out, or whatever, just to kind of feel a little more seen. But there's a couple scenes that people point to, and they try to point out the undertones, the subtext. of that, and that's, I mean, one of them is that kind of that fuck you scene.
Great. Now what?
Okay, how about we get a couple of machine guns, right? And we blow the windows out of the joint, and we yell, "Come on in and get me, you dirty compas."
I mean, everything's a joke to you tonight.
Hey, fuck you, Chris. Look, every single day, I put up with your moaning about what's her name and how you wish you could fall in love again, but you're too chicken shit to do anything about it. And then this Cynthia girl comes along, Dream Girl 2001. And I say to myself, what the hell? I'm sure as hell never gonna get laid, so I might as well help out my best friend, right? And then you say, JC, help, we gotta join a fraternity so she'll give me the time of the day. And I say, what the hell? You gotta do it, you gotta do it. And what do? I bust my ass to help you, and you get chicken shit again. And I push, and I push, and I don't give up. And why? Why? You don't even know. You don't even care. Because it's important to me that you're happy. Is that so crazy? And if we gotta act like jerks and get in trouble in order to do that, then what the hell? I mean, it's better than acting like jerks for no reason, right? So yeah, everything is a joke. It's hilarious because if you take it seriously, you just get depressed all the time, like you are. So fuck you.
Yeah, well, fuck you too.
You'd try it.
You would let me.
You'd want me to.
You wish.
We done?
I'm sorry I was an asshole.
If you weren't such an asshole, even girls might like you.
Hey, throw me that pillow, will you?
And then, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you really should have seen the movie. Don't watch. I'm going to say it now. Don't watch this any further unless you've seen the movie. I'll give you a couple seconds here. The scene with the tape recorder, where JC kind of tells Chris that, you know, fucking slugs get into me. They fucking don't like the heat. They don't like the fire. You know, I love you.
Chris, there's one inside me. It got in through my mouth. I can feel it. It's in my brain. I don't have a pulse or a heartbeat. I think I'm dead. I killed one. I lit a match to it. I think fire will kill them. I've gone to the furnace room, the basement. If I don't come back, heat will kill them. I walked, Chris. All by myself, I walked. I love you. Good luck with Cynthia.
That one, I think that's a little hit or miss, but I mean, they talk about JC does tell him, you know, I tried so hard to get you together with Cynthia. He said, I want to see you happy. Is that so bad? And the theory kind of goes that, you know, he's gay, but he's not necessarily after him. It's just he just happens to be gay. It's not like his world revolves around, oh, this straight boy or anything like that. So, I mean, anyway, I mean, I'm not doing a great job. If you want to kind of learn more about the gay subtext, the undertones in this movie, I mean, you can literally type in Night of the Creeps gay subtext. You know, you can find probably full first page of Google articles will get you what you need, really. I mean, you know, I'm just one dumb guy. Um, but moving past that, and this movie's it was done by the Zombie Johnny makeup looked pretty great. The Johnny being the fellow that got the first slug of the movie and ended up in the cryo chamber from '59 until '86. Real creepy, kind of comes up to Cynthia's window and get that real fucking creepy smile, and his head bursts open, which is pretty cool because that kind of brings Ray Cameron in, played by the fantastic, one and only, the fucking legendary Tom Atkins.
Thrill me.
But the way the head burst open made him think back to the slasher from '59, and then we hacked up Ray Cameron's girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend at the time. Kind of everything starts to unwind or devolve for Ray Cameron from there. He kind of remembers how he tracked down to the maniac and buried him in where the house mother's cottage sits in present day '86. A really great character, a lot of fucking fantastic one-liners. Like I said, this movie was written, the dialogue is written incredibly. It's kind of, could be cheesy if everyone didn't take it as seriously as they did. Even though this guy was apparently a jokester on set, Fred Decker had to actually show him like pictures of the Holocaust to kind of keep him in the right mindset when he was listening to the tape recorder, which that's interesting. But I mean, as far as the question, as far as the house mother's cottage goes, what does a house mother do for a sorority? I'm not a lady. I didn't go to college as a lady, so I don't know, how sororities really run. I only know of a house mother really in terms of a strip club, unfortunately. Generally, they're there to kind of collect the house fee for the club and sell different outfits and things of that nature. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. If you don't, no big deal. But another character in this movie is Brad, the Bradster. Is the head of the Beta Epsilon fraternity. Real douchebag. He's got like that almost platinum Ric Flair-esque blonde hair. Literally has the Bradster as his little fucking license plate. Real douchebag. Trips JC. Fuck, he's already on crutches. Let's kick him over. Fuck him. Piece of shit. But I mean, he met his end. That's cool. The other thing with this movie, I guess, I grew up, obviously, like I said, watching it pretty much, probably monthly for a good 3 or 4 years. I always grew up with the original, obviously the theatrical home video release ending, which is where the dog ends up with a slug and he fucking shoots it into Cynthia's mouth as credits close. And let me digress a little bit and let me fucking, how great did Jill Whitlow look in that movie? Just incredible. Like, that was another girl I had like a super crush on as a little kid. And I still kind of get that feeling when I watch the movie a little bit. It's funny. Downer ending that way, which might have contributed to its poor showing at the box office. I don't know. But the director's cut ending's a lot better. With that ending, Ray Cameron survives the fire, we think, even though he's all fucking toasty, but his head splits open and those slugs fucking go off into a cemetery, perfectly setting up a sequel that we unfortunately never got. Which I imagine is entirely due to the the poor box office. Apparently there is a movie, and of course I don't have the title off the top of my head, that in some countries is referred to as Night of the Creeps Part 2. although it has nothing officially. It has nothing to do with this movie whatsoever. But I guess time now to let you guys know who the MVP of the movie is, and I think it should be pretty obvious. Although runner-up JC gave this guy probably the most fight for this award that he'll ever get. But the MVP is, without a shadow of a doubt, Tom fucking Atkins. Ray Cameron is, in my opinion, one of the greatest characters in the history of horror movies, cinema, whatever the fuck you want to say. He's a badass. Like, this is the role I think he was born to play, to be totally honest with you. The man says it himself. This is his favorite movie that he played in, and I think that kind of lends to his performance. And perhaps the performance leads to him liking it so much. I don't totally know. I'd have to ask him myself, but unfortunately I lost his number. And as for kill of the movie, it'd have to be when Chris and Cynthia are stuck in the tool shed. And old Steve with the one continuous eyebrow comes back and breaks through and pulls Cynthia down on the ground. He's trying to get the slug to fucking shoot out so she can swallow a little something slimy. And Chris fires up that lawnmower.
Later, dude.
Man, I love that kill. Fucking big old splatter. But I think that about does it for Night of the Creeps. What do you guys think of this movie? Have you seen it? Have you, if you have, let me know how you feel about it below. Who's your favorite character? Who would you give MVP? What's the kill of the movie in your opinion? And before I go, I'd like to thank all of my patrons: Hazelnut Devon Graham, Christian Hannah Horror, S'mores Indoors, Nick Ridza, Jay the Stingray, Jess Graham, Cornelius Collection, Orc145626, Daniel Shine, Lauren Dixon, and Mr. Bombastic. So that's all for me. And as always, Iris loves you.